Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Thursday, December the 12th. Race number 7 at Aqueduct, 1-turn mile, nice optional claiming event. Let's take a peek at this field. 8-5 on the morning line, Chad Brown, Kendrick Carmouche, that's Payne stretching out for the first time. Chad also has Identity Politics at 7-2. Mr. Dougie Fresh for Jason Service at 4-1, second in his most recent start. Going to be interesting to see how this plays out from a Timeform US pace projector standpoint with a few stretch out sprinters in the race. Mr. Dougie Fresh is fast. Are you concerned about the mile? No, he's won in the past. Yeah. And I think if he gets this kind of trip, it's very good for him because I still think it's questionable whether Musical America can stick with him early.
I kind of agree with you here. Mr. Dougie Fresh, it feels like there are a lot of things that point to a really good trip for this horse who, as you mentioned, gets the mile. A lot of rain in this New York area too, expected for the next couple days as well. And if it's a wet track on Thursday, no problem for him.
Let's talk about the number 1, Illudare, returning off an 11-month layoff. Now, the last time this horse stepped on dirt was at the Belmont Fall Meet of 2018. He beat 4 next out winners on a confident ride on the lead. After that, Jimmy Jerkins realized this horse has some turf pedigree, ran him on the turf. He ran well all 3 times, including winning a key race last time out at Gulfstream. Suppose he had a chip taken out. It's been 11 months. I don't know what we're going to get off the layoff, but this horse has shown some talent. Yeah,
it's not the easiest spot in the world off of a layoff like this, but he has shown that he can run. He's, obviously been fine on turf. He was pretty good on dirt too. It's interesting because I remember him when he debuted as a 3-year-old at Belmont last July, and I thought there's something there. Payne, who was also in this race, beat him that day, but this horse I thought made a sneaky good debut that day. He kind of lost me a little bit after that. I didn't necessarily feel like he progressed the way I thought he would, but he did improve his figures with each race, and he has that 90 buyer on dirt the last time he ran on it. So there are things to like about this horse. He has to be just about close to ready, though, if he's going to beat this field, I think.
I agree. He's going to have to be ready. This is a very sharp group. The 2 is Musical America, who earned a 90 buyer. 3 starts back, going 6 on the dirt. Last time out, I just think that mile and 1/8 is way too far for him. The question is this. Is really dirt his favorite surface? He is 0 for 13 on the dirt. He's bred for it 15 times out of 28. He has finished 2nd and 3rd. To me, he's the kind of horse you want to go underneath.
Yeah, it's a real problem, taking a horse with his record, because he's run certainly representative races on the dirt. He seems like he's equally proficient on either surface. I mean, you only have to go back 3 starts on his card. He ran a 90 buyer on the main track. He handles dirt. He just never wins. I really respect this trainer. Rob Atcher, since he went out on his own this year, I mean, this guy can really train a horse. So maybe he'll get this horse over the hump. That would be a good thing for him.
Musical America's older half-brother, Aquaphobia, is in this race, and he's going to try dirt for the first time. We've seen Musical America run a 90 buyer on the dirt. The Damn Pussycat Girl doll won 3 Grade 1 races sprinting. I think a 112 buyer in one of those Grade 1 races. Very fast. Aquaphobia has always been a really hard-hitting turf horse. I think a mile is good for him. The big question mark is dirt, because from a class standpoint, I think he fits.
I do too. He's just a really cool horse, a really good hard-hitting kind of horse. He goes for a very good trainer in Robbie Falcone. I mean, you just sort of look at him, though, Dan, and we already talked about his pedigree. He's about to turn 7. He's made 29 starts. They've never tried dirt with him. There's probably a reason why he's never tried dirt.
Atris also has Devamani coming off a big upset on the turf last time out in a 62.5 optional claimer. Got a nice ride and trip, I thought, that day from Jose Lascano. This is a horse, though, making his dirt debut. He's only raced on the main track once. That was way back in Europe on a synthetic surface. So we have some question marks here. And you look at this pedigree. This is turf.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just trying to keep their options open. If he handles dirt, they can leave him up here for the winter. If not, I guess they got to find somewhere else to take him and run him on the grass. I don't have high hopes for him in this race.
I was a little disappointed with Mr. Dougie Fresh's race 2 starts back at Parks. Perhaps he was just too conservatively ridden that day. I thought he probably could have made the lead if Arad was aggressive. Maybe Arad realized I'm odds on, I can win no matter what. And I think this horse is at his best when he's close or on the lead. Timeform US believes he can make the lead. No match for the graded stakes caliber complexity last time out, but this is a horse that we know can run fast, we know can run well at a 1-turn mile, and if he gets loose, he could make 4-1 look like a real nice price.
Yeah, I agree with all those things, and just to add one more thing to that, Parks, because I agree with your take. I don't like necessarily the ride he got in that race. He was also down on the inside all through the stretch, and I don't know if that's not always a great place to be at Parks. So listen, maybe there are excuses for his race 2 back, maybe not. I thought he actually ran fine last time. No chance with complexity in that race, but he was actually a pretty good second. And I thought going 3 back on his card, I thought he ran really well at Saratoga that day and was unlucky not to win that race. So I actually like the form that he's in. He's got plenty of figures to say he's going to be tough. He gets the mile. The pace projector is in his favor. There's a lot to like about this horse.
Payne popped a 94 buyer at Saratoga 2 starts back when beaten by Performer, who is subsequently a graded stakes winner and a horse that you might want to keep an eye out on for 2020. He has a lot of talent. After that race, Chad Brown gave Payne a little bit of a layoff. He returned in a 6 furlong race. It was a field he was supposed to beat. He did beat them. Nice trip, nice ride by Kendrick Carmouche. Here's Payne winning a non-winners of 1 other than at Aqueduct on November the 2nd. Sat behind a 3-horse battle, eases out 3 wide. He's going to have to work to beat this field. This field was not the strongest. It does not come back the strongest race. And you have some questions about distance because this is a horse that is never routed. The Dam Vertical Vision was a very fast horse. This horse is a half to Vertical Oak, a very fast sprinter. I'm assuming the painter on top gives this horse some stamina. If he's going to get a mile, it's going to be of the 1-turn variety.
Yeah, I think he'll get the mile. I mean, I'm not that worried about it. We'll see. Obviously, you never know if they try, but that's the least of my worries with this horse. I just think there are plenty of things pointing you to him in here, and I think what I like most about him, Dan, is he almost always shows up. There's one race at Saratoga 3 back where he didn't really run his race as a favorite, but he had trouble early in that spot, and then he was sort of keeping on too late in that race. But otherwise, he always shows up, and in his last couple of starts in particular, he's shown way more tactical speed, and that's going to play to his advantage in this race.
Never off the board from 8 lifetime starts. That's your morning line favorite, Payne. We'll move on to Super Dude, who scored 2 starts back going 2 turns, and most recently just ran into a very sharp horse that was able to control the pace up front. And this horse was up close. Super Dude was up close to that sharp winner, but just couldn't run with him in the stretch. Ended up easily second best. Claimed out of that race by Pat Quick, who is a perfectly fine trainer.
Yeah.
This horse, though, is going to be a big price because Pat Quick doesn't attract a lot of attention at the windows.
That's exactly right. Pat Quick does a very good job. This horse is stepping up in class as well. You know, that horse that beat him last time ran a 104 buyer sort of out of nowhere for Jason Service, so he really didn't have a chance in that race, but it also inflated his figure up to a 92. We'll see if he can back it up.
3-month layoff for the 8, Identity Politics. Another horse trying the mile for the first time. This horse has won at 7 with his pedigree. A mile shouldn't be an issue. I think he's faced some pretty good horses, whether it's Bill DeSuit or Baracho. I think he fits in this race for Chad. He's another horse. I think from the morning line standpoint, David made, I think, Payne a very short price favor in here. I think Identity Politics is going to take money in here.
I think he will too. We'll see what happens with him. You know, it's funny because as opposed to Payne, I worry more about the distance with this horse than I do about Payne. And the other thing that you worry about with this horse, he just doesn't have any speed. He's going to be trying to close at the end of this race. He did beat Payne back in May at Belmont, but that's a race that's worth going back to watch because Payne looked to me like he was going to win that race. He got totally stopped in the stretch and lost all chance, and this horse sort of took advantage. I don't know. I have no problem with him, especially at the morning line odds. I just think Payne might be a little better than this horse.
This horse has to be a little bit frustrating for Chad. Of course, he was second to McKinsey in the Malibu. That Malibu that fell apart. I mean, it was
but you're right.
Pace up front, but he ran very well. And in 2019, I'm sure Chad had high hopes for him. He's only gotten the 1 win out of him in only 5 races leading up to our race of the day. We'll take a look at our top selection in here. I think Mike made a very good point about Payne's tactical speed. I'm a little concerned about the mile, a little bit more so than Mike is. I think he can sit up close if the pace is slow. I'm going to go with him. Mike's going with Mr. Dougie Fresh because if he controls the pace, he has the figs, and he's got a hot trainer in Jason Service that might propel him to the winner's circle.
Yeah, there are things that will lead you in that direction if he can get the right trip in this race. And again, you know, there's a real chance that this track will not be fast on Thursday at Aqueduct, and he handles a wet track.
5618 for Mike, 6175 for me. Your Thursday race of the day, the 7th at Aqueduct. Approximate post time 3:28 Eastern. Good luck.